Hi, this is Debbie from cariadcards.co. Thank you very much for joining me today. And today's project is to make this gorgeous box that holds 5 individual tea bags. Now the box measures 3 inches by 2 3/4 inches and 1 1/4 inches depth. The tea bags that it fits are this brand and they measure 3 inches by 2.5 inches. It wouldn't be difficult to adapt this box to fit other sized tea bags that come in individual sachets. Now the box is held together with this lovely wisteria ribbon, chevron ribbon, and it's got a lid, and inside sit 5 little sachets of tea bags. What a lovely way of presenting these as a gift to somebody. Okay, so let's get started. We need to start off with a piece of 8" by 3 3/4 inches whisper white card. I will put all of the card measurements on my blog and all of the scoring measurements. So you're going to need your simply scored board for this. So we're making the base of the card to start with. Take your stylus that comes with the scoreboard, and we're going to score at 1 1/8 inch. We're going to score at 3 3/4 inch. We're going to score at 4 7/8 and 7.5. That's obviously along the longer edge, the 8" edge. Going to turn the card so that the 3 3/4 inch edge is at the top, and we're going to score at 3/4 inch. So just going straight down. Okay, just going to move my board for a moment. Now we need to assemble the box. So that's either the front or the back panel, side panel, side panel. That's the tab that sticks it together, and this is the bit that forms the base. So you need to take a pair of scissors. I don't know if you can see the lines better there. We're going to cut this little corner where the tab is. We're going to cut that corner completely away. So just use your scissors and just snip it off. Okay. Now we're going to cut these little rectangles, not the large ones, the little ones. We're going to cut straight up, just up to that score line that's there. Hope you can see that. So just cutting there, so that's 3 cuts, and on the back there. I tell you what we should have done. I do this every time. We should have used the bone folder first. Oh dear me. Oh, I do this every time. Right, it's not a problem. We could soon go along and redo that. It just means I've got to do each of those in sections. So use your bone folder, go along and just burnish those creases. You want nice sharp creases. I'd forget my head, wouldn't I? Right, all it means is I've just got to do these individually, whereas had I done them before I cut them, I could have just gone straight along. Not a problem. Okay. Right, now these little tabs, the 2 little tabs that we've cut, I'm just going to wedge those, because when I stick them together onto the base, I want them not to have so much bulk. So all I'm doing is just taking a little bit off there. So that's off those 2. Now you can leave the base like that. So I've just taken that off. You can leave the base as is, or if you want to, as I've done on mine, I have actually wedged that as well, just so I've got a nice finish. If you don't wedge them, then it will go straight down. That is fine. If you're happy with that, nothing wrong whatsoever. I just decided that I would like to wedge mine just a little bit, not a lot. Not a lot, just a bit. In fact, I've probably done it a bit more than I would have wanted there, but that's fine. It's underneath. Nobody's going to see it. So, I've done all that. Now I'm going to start attaching the box together, and the first thing I need to do is to attach the tab to the inside there so that we've got a box to work with. So I'm just going to pop a bit of paper glue onto there. You can use fast fuse, you can use the red tape. You want something that's going to stick it very firmly and not going to let it go. Okay. This paper card glue is brilliant, but it's a little bit slower to dry than if I'd used tape. Okay, now I'm going to put my 2 little tabs in, and then when I bring these over, there's a little bit of overlap, so that will stick onto there. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop a bit of glue there and there. Not too much, you don't want it going everywhere. That's enough to stick that. And then I'm also just going to stick a little bit along here, because that's the bit, oh, I think my glue's starting to run out. That's the bit that will stick to there. Now, I just find, ooh, popping that down lets you make sure these edges are square. And I'm just going to use something just to press all the bits and make sure they're firmly adhered. So that should be well stuck. As I say, if you'd used tape, it would have stuck instantly. This might just take a little bit longer, but that's fine. By the time I come to need to use it, it will be firmly stuck. Now we're going to start to work on the lid. You might have noticed this gorgeous, gorgeous lacy pattern. Now a lot of you I know love the stamp called I Love Lace, and it's obviously been very popular. So in the new Spring Summer supplement is a new stamp coming out called Something Lacy. Now, because the catalogue hasn't come out, I'm not actually allowed to show you the stamp itself. I am allowed to show you things I've made with it. So that's just a small portion. The stamp is as large as the I Love Lace stamp, so it's the full size stamp, so it's going to be ideal for making backgrounds. That is just a portion of it. Isn't that gorgeous? It really is the most beautiful stamp. So for anybody who likes the I Love Lace stamp, as soon as that catalogue comes out, have a look for this product. Beautiful. Now I've just cut a piece of Whisper White card to 4 3/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches, and I've stamped onto that using Wisteria Wonder. So I'm going to score this as well to make my box lid. Again, all the measurements will be on my blog. I've got my stylus, so I'm going to score this at 1 inch and 3 3/4 inches. I'm going to turn my card round. I'm going to score it at 1 inch again, and I'm going to score it at 2 1/4 inches. Right, let's pop that away. That's all the scoring done now. Now you won't be able to see the score lines on that side. Hopefully you can see them on that side a little better. So that's going to make our box lid. And this time I'm going to remember to burnish it before I cut it. I'm so excited to get on with the project that I forget to do simple things like that. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to take our scissors again. Now, it's up to you how you decide you want to fold this. I'm going to fold my tab over onto the longer side just because there's a bit more room there to get 2 tabs onto. If I try and fold that one onto there, there's a lot of bulk there to put on a short side. So I'm going to I'm going to get the longer rectangle there, and I'm going to just snip up to the score line there. And I'm going to snip up to the score line there. I'm going to turn it 180 degrees, so that's what I've done. I'm going to snip to the score line there, and again there. So we've now got the centre panel, the 2 edge panels, and the tabs that we're going to use. And again with these, it's a good idea just to wedge them, just so you've got less bulk. Now we don't want to edge these this time. We did on the base of the box, but not on the lid. We want nice straight edges on the lid. So just cut away There's no measurements for doing this, just eyeballing it really. I can't wait to try this stamp out in some different colours and use silver and gold embossing powder. I think it's going to look stunning with those. Okay, so that's now what our box lid looks like. So there's our 4 panels that are going to be showing. These are the tabs. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue onto those and stick the box together. Just bear with me for a moment. Make sure that your edges are straight. That's the bit you're aiming for, because that's the bit you're going to see. Just hoping mine dries in time. Okay. That's such a cute little present. And I bought these bags in packets from a rather well-known online retailer. I'm just trying to think. They were 4 flavours and 5 packets of each flavour, so 20 tea bags. And they were actually quite a reasonable price. I was surprised how good they were, and they just look lovely. They come in lots of different fruit flavours, and there does seem to be quite a trend at the moment for people drinking fruit teas. So I just thought, what a lovely gift to give to somebody. Okay, so there's our lid. There's our box, fits on perfectly. Now you can leave it like that, but what I've done is just made some panels, which I've stamped again using the beautiful Something Lacy stamp, which I'm not allowed to show you, but I will do very soon. And I'm just going to pop those on. So I've cut 2 panels at 2 3/8 of an inch by 2 3/4 of an inch that way. And I've cut 2 small panels at 2 3/4 of an inch by 7/8 of an inch. And all I'm going to do is pop a bit of glue on and just stick them on. You can round the corners of these if you want. You can use your finger sponge dauber to add a little bit of shading around. That always looks great. So I've just popped a bit of glue on there, stuck them on, and that just seems to, in my opinion, transform the box. But then I am already absolutely sold on this stamp. I love it. I can see me using it in lots of projects in the future. Hopefully by the time I do my next project with it, I shall be able to show you the stamp on camera. Okay, so that's my 2 front panels. You could stop there, or you could put your 2 side panels on, which I'm just going to quickly do. Oh, I think I must open another tube of glue up soon. I've still got quite a lot left in this one, but it's taking a little bit longer to come out than I would normally want. Okay, just pop that on there and turn it round, pop that on there. Okay, and then we've got our 5 tea bags. So as an example of what they are, and they just fit in there perfectly. There we go, look at that, absolutely spot on. Pop your lid on, and then as I did with the other box, I've just taken the Wisteria Wonder chevron ribbon, just brought it up and over to there. Don't need too much, do we? I'll cut it about there. Can always put a little angle in later. I've taken our linen thread, taken enough so I can double it over. So fold that in half. I'm just going to snip that, and then this is the bit where everybody looks and thinks, oh no, not again. She can't tie a knot on camera. One day I will shock you all and do it first time, although that may be quite a while in the future. Okay, so I'm just trying to tie a knot or a bow, whatever is easiest. dear. Okay, so I've tied a knot. I'm going to go all out and have a go at a bow. Actually, this linen thread is quite forgiving. Okay, so I'm just going to snip that off, get rid of all the bits, and this, I'm just going to cut that at an angle. Just think it always looks nicer when it's cut at a slight angle. And then the only other thing I'm going to do, which I did with this one, is I just popped a little flower on. So I've just got a spare little piece of the stamped paper. I've got my Petite Petals punch, so I'm just going to move that around till I find a place that I quite like the look of. There, yeah, I like that. Okay. For this, I've just got my finger sponge dauber and my Wisteria Wonder ink. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of ink around the edges. I didn't do that to the main box because I wanted the main box to stay sort of very light and elegant, but I want this flower to stand out against the ribbon. So that's all I'm doing with that ink-wise. I'm just then going to get my Stampin' paper piercing mat, and I've got my paper piercing tool here. There's a lovely rounded end on that which works perfectly when you put your flower on your mat. Literally press in the centre and look at that, you get a really nice 3D effect. Then going to pop a pearl on. So these are 4mm pearls. Just take one with my craft knife, pop one in the centre, and then getting a glue dot, pop that in the middle of the flower, and don't stick it to your nail, Debbie, and pop my flower onto the ribbon, and there you have it, a lovely box which perfectly fits 5 individual sachets of tea. Thank you very much for joining me, Debbie, at cariadcards.co.